pick 2 Backlist books for a reading vlog. There's the cat. Say hi, Hopper. So we're going to use DeckofTBR. It is the 14th, which is the last day of Catch-Up-A-thon. So we have one readathon left, and that's DeckofTBR. I shuffled these, I promise. We just don't want to see me do that on camera again. So let's pick a card. All right, so we've got a Jack, and that is in the title. Here it is. Name in the title, number in the title, color in the title. All right, so that's one. I need to get another one, so let's just break these a little bit. I did shuffle them, but we'll do it like that. All right, and the next one is a 6. And the 6 is a random read, a random color generator, a random letter generator, or randomize entire TBR. Okay, let's see what I pick. Okay, for the 6 card, I needed to randomize my TBR. So what I did was, I have on Goodreads a shelf of owned TBR, which is not all of them. It's most of my fiction and classics, I would say. So it was like 300 books. I did that. Out of 301, it was, the random generator brought up 267, which ended up being Fly Away by Kathleen Jennings. This is an arc that I found at like a library sale or something like that. And I started reading this, and my headspace is not there right now. So we're gonna draw another card for this one. And for the Jack, which was, I don't have it right in front of me, but I think it was a name in the title. Let me get it, hold on, because I'll forget. Okay, so it was name in the title, number in a title, or color in a title. And so I picked off my shelves Bitter Orange by Claire Fuller. I haven't started this one yet, and as I read it, I'll tell you more about it. I've read Claire Fuller before. I've read Unsettled Ground and The Memory of Animals, which I enjoyed both of them. The Memory of Animals is a pandemic-like novel that she wrote before the pandemic, but the similarities were intense and yeah, completely relatable. So that book has stuck with me. So I want to try Claire Fuller's Backlist. So this is for hopefully 5 points in the DeckofTBRathon for color in the title. Let's draw another card before I update you on Empire Falls. Are we gonna, I think I might actually try and shuffle on camera. Shall we shuffle on camera? Part of it is this deck of cards is kind of newish, or it's not newish, it's never been used. So we'll give it one more shot. Okay, that wasn't so bad. Maybe spoke too soon. All right, so let's draw our card, and we got a 7. I feel like I've had a 7 already. What is 7? Oh yes, someone else picks. Friend or spouse pick, poll pick, or librarian pick. Actually, I don't think I've had this one. So, poll pick, librarian pick, or friend or spouse. So I am not going to have time to do a poll. So what I'm gonna do is, my library has recommendations on the website. So I'm gonna go and see what the librarians recommend. Let's see. Let's go for staff picks. And the first one I will read. So we're going to start with the first. And I'm just looking through and I found one. Let me grab it. Okay, so one of the staff picks on the list is Before We Were Yours by Lisa Wingate. So I'm going to count this as a librarian pick. This is historical fiction, I'm pretty sure, based on a true story. So that I will add to this vlog. Now let's talk Empire Falls, because I've been reading this for a minute. I am at chapter 8, which is page 130-ish. This is about, basically, so it reminds me of the Gilmore Girls. It reminds me of the town where everybody knows each other, although Empire Falls is the town, and it is a sort of dying town, and all of the major employers in the area, and this is in Maine, all of the major employers shut down, and so a lot of people have left. They can't find work there. And the main character is Miles Roby, who is the manager of the Empire Grill, and the Empire Grill is owned by Mrs. Whiting, who is in her 70s or 80s, I can't remember, but she is the widow of the man who owned all of these things in Empire Falls, all of the businesses, all of the land, all the things. And we're just kind of following their lives. And it really, Miles Roby reminds me of Luke Danes from the Gilmore Girls, because he's kind of grumpy. He has a daughter. He is in the middle of getting a divorce. We see kind of a cast of characters that come through the grill. I'm really enjoying it. It's a steady pace. It's not gripping in any way, but it's a sweet story so far. There's seems to be some skeletons in the closets, but I don't think that there's going to be, and maybe I'm wrong, that there might be a major plot point, or if it's their story of trying to figure out what kind of is the next step. Is there a new employer coming to town, or are kind of the days numbered for even the Empire Grill? Miles Roby is the manager, but he doesn't own it. Mrs. Whiting owns it, but she's promised it to him. So kind of go from there. And yeah, like I said, I'm really enjoying it. I do have the audiobook, so I'm kind of switching back and forth, but I'm enjoying reading it physically as well. So that's the update, and we picked the new book, and so I will update you later. Gonna give a real life living update. This is really early in the morning. I think it's like 6 a.m. And I am up so early because I have a procedure scheduled today that I've been waiting on for a while. And it is this morning, today. I'm just anxious about it. I also can't have food or water. And of course, my stomach's growling, and I would like a very large glass of ice water, and that's what I'm craving, and of course can't have it. I'm probably craving it because I can't have it. But there are some pre-meds that I had to take that are causing pain. So I wasn't really able to sleep. So that's the life update. I will say Remy is right there. Sorry about my voice, but I can't have any water, which I would really like to have right now. Reading update. I've been reading Empire Falls by Richard Russo, and this was written in the publication date, although I don't know that that's going to make much difference with what I want to talk about. Let's see. It was written in 2001. I was enjoying this, and it gave me, and I think I already said this in a clip, it gave me Gilmore Girl vibes, like Luke Danes and his daughter kind of vibes, because we have Miles and his daughter Tick. Miles manages the Empire Grill, which the town Empire Falls is kind of run down, and Empire Grill seems to be like one of the few places to go for food. And I was enjoying it. They introduced a character that has a disability, several disabilities, and I'm just, even in 2001, they're using the word crippled. One of the scenes talks about her mobility aid as like annoying and in the way, and just not great disability rep in this. I'm going to keep reading it. I'm curious. I'm almost 200 pages in, and typically when I DNF a book, I don't rate it or review it. But I would like to at least be able to rate and review this book. So I'm going to keep reading. I will vlog this weekend. I will not vlog from my procedure because a friend is driving me and I'm going to be under anesthesia. So yeah, we'll pick things back up after that. An update. I did finish Empire Falls by Richard Russo, and it was fine. It wasn't anything spectacular. It was a 400 plus page book of a small town, small rundown town, rich people, not rich people, like just a bunch of relationship issues, family issues. There was a lot of ableism in this, just some treatment of people with disabilities in this that really just wasn't necessary. And one of the characters did call him out on some of it. So, you know, fine-ish. I think I'm giving this 3 stars, and I'll do a full review at the end of the vlog. I have started the audiobook for Before We Were Yours by Lisa Wingate. We're doing 2 storylines. One is present day in Aiken, South Carolina, and one is in 1939 in Memphis. And just early stages, there's Avery, who is present day. She's in her 30s, engaged. Her dad is a senator, and he is sick, and so she's kind of being groomed to take his place. And then in the 1939, we're following a family with a lot of kids, and they're have very little money, and kind of a tragedy happens in the beginning. They live on a boat. Yeah, and that's kind of as far as I've gotten with this so far. I have not done a clip in a few days. I've done B-roll. I remember to do B-roll, but I haven't updated on the books because it actually wasn't going so well. So I was reading Before We Were Yours by Lisa Wingate, and was very close to DNFing this book till about, I don't know, page 200, and it's not super long. It's 340. The book is about the Tennessee Children's Home in the 30s and 40s that was run by, well, it was more than one home. It was what do they call it? The Tennessee Children's Home Society was run by a woman named Georgia Mann, who was basically a baby broker, stole babies from the poor by telling them their babies died in birth, or that they needed to sign them over to get them treatment. Just a lot of lies and deception to get these babies and give them for adoption for huge amounts of money to really rich people. Some of them are Hollywood actors, actresses, politicians, things like that. It's a true story, real woman who was never brought on charges. I was reading the Wikipedia page, which you can also read some of this in the author's note in the book, that she died of cancer just as charges were being brought, or about to be brought, supposedly. But then it got all kind of hush-hush because of the rich people involved. So the story starts with a family of 5 kids live on a boat on the river, and their mom is pregnant, in labor, has complications, has to be taken to the hospital, and the oldest child, who's 12, her name is Rill, she is like, the dad just puts her in charge of all the kids, and basically the kids are taken, and we follow them to the children's home, and just some of the things that happen to them there. The present day storyline is a woman who is kind of like a Southern debutante lawyer who is being groomed for her father's Senate seat, and she meets a woman at one of the nursing homes who kind of has some connection to her when they meet, and the woman starts digging into who she is, her own grandmother's past, and how they may be connected to this children's home. Then it just gets a little slow and bogged down. It's harrowing what the children went through. I just didn't vibe with the writing style very much. And even at around page 200, the story was interesting because it was all coming together, like the past and present storylines were connecting, and things were happening. But then for me, it just kind of went, I mean, it's fine. It was fine how it ended. I liked how it ended. But the writing style fell kind of flat for me. I'm just not sure if Lisa Wingate, this is my first one by her. I don't own any other ones, so I might not rush to pick up any other book by her, but I know a lot of people really like her, so I'm landing on about a 3.5 star for this one. Yeah. So that's that. Now I'm gonna read Bitter Orange by Claire Fuller. I've really enjoyed Claire Fuller's work in the past, and so I hope to enjoy this as well. This is one of her backlist books, so I will update you soon. This seems to be the spot when I remember to film updates. I'm almost halfway through Bitter Orange by Claire Fuller. In this story, we're following Frances and then Peter and Kara. Peter and Frances are each hired separately by a man who buys kind of an abandoned mansion, estate in England. Frances is going to kind of survey the gardens and the bridge and kind of send a report back to the owner. And then Peter is going to, I think, inventory everything that's in the mansion and on the estate, and send it to the owner as well. The owner is an American man that we hear of, but we don't, or haven't so far met him in any way. And the suspicion of Peter and Francis is just, he just wants to know what's there. It was kind of pillaged by the army during wartime, and he doesn't even know what's there. Francis lives in the attic kind of apartment, and Peter and Kara live on the floor below her, and they just get to know each other that way. Frances is a very quirky character. She's older. Her mom recently died. I guess that's who she was living with, and so she didn't really have anyone to... She didn't have any family left, basically, and she took this job because she needed someplace to live. And we're just kind of getting to know Peter and Kara, and what their story is, and their secrets and hidden rooms and just different things that I'm just getting to now. I am enjoying it. I already knew that I enjoy Claire Fuller's writing. She is an author that I would like to read to zero. I think this is my third Claire Fuller novel. Yeah, and I hope to finish it in the next day or so. Filming, so I have some books all over the place. I finished Bitter Orange by Claire Fuller, I think last night, and this is, I've told a little bit about this already, that it's about a woman named Frances who took care of her mom. Her mom dies, and she is kind of without a job and doesn't really have much in the way of financial security. And a job comes along for her to go to this kind of rundown estate in outside of London, and to report on the gardens, mainly the gardens, which she has some experience in writing about. And the person who hires her is an American who bought this estate and doesn't really, I guess, sight unseen, just kind of bought the estate. The estate itself is called Linton's, and it belonged to the Linton family for many years and was taken over by the army during the war, the Great War. And so when Frances gets there, there's a couple there that the male, Peter, he is supposed to inventory the house and send that to the owner. And the storyline is 2 time frames. it's Frances in each time frame. And the first, it's kind of confusing in the beginning where Frances is, and yeah, it just kind of starts off pretty strange that she is somehow incapacitated in, it seems like a hospital, I guess. It's confusing in the beginning. It comes full circle in the end. I loved it. I think I'm gonna rate it about a 4-star. Yeah, I love Claire Fuller's writing, and it was very engaging. And I think I drew this. I have lost my DeckofTBRathon. I'm filming this in the beginning of September, and the readathon's over, but these do count for the readathon, or did count for the readathon. And this was for to read a book with a color in the title. So that was Bitter Orange. And then I've talked about Empire Falls. This was one of my 12 and 24 books. And it's about a rundown town. I know I've talked about this repeatedly, so I'm not going to repeat it. But I felt it was okay. There's a lot of ableism in here, and I'm just not sure how I feel about it, because there's parts of it that I feel like are called out, but just in general, they're kind of called out in one statement, not really, and at the very end. So it's still about a 3-star, I'm also thinking about unhauling my other Richard Russo book. I think I have one other book of his. I'm not sure yet. I'm just kind of see how I feel about it, but not really feeling a need to go to the HBO film that was made from this. And then I read, I think for Deck of TBR, this was a librarian pick, so I went on my library's website and went on the library recommendations page and picked the first one that I owned, and that was Before We Were Yours by Lisa Wingate. This is historical fiction, 2 timelines. It was okay. It was interesting, part of history that I was not familiar with. This is about the Tennessee Children's Home Society. So it was okay. I think it was about a 3-star as well. So 2 3-stars and a 4-star. Another favorite by a favorite author, which is amazing. And then I tried 2 new authors to me. Don't know that I'm going to run out and read more from the other 2 authors. Thank you so much for coming along with me on this journey through my backlist. I will link the rest of my backlist vlogs, reading vlogs, in the description box. If you enjoy my content and would like to support my channel, I'd really appreciate it if you would hit the subscribe button and share with anyone who you think might be interested. I hope you have a great rest of your day, week, month, and let me know in the comments below if you've read any of these or if you have any recommendations for me. Bye.